Okay, welcome guys to this ILA on proportion. Proportion is essentially where you're looking at two different things, and we say those two things are in proportion. So here in this question, we have a weight and a price. So those are the two things, weight and price. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to say if you have any difficulty with any of this, please speak to your teacher, and they'll be able to help you out. Okay. Right, so we'll get cracking. For all of this, you're going to need a calculator, and it's split into three parts for you. So I suggest you watch part one and then try and do those questions, then watch part two and try and do those questions, and so on. Okay, so the way we do this is we're going to set up a little table. Okay, so here we have got two things. There is the weight of the bananas, and there is the cost. So I'll write those two things, weight and cost, and I'm going to do a little table. Okay. So in the question, we just write the information we've got. We've got Anna buys 4 kilograms, so I'm going to go 4 kilograms, and that costs $14.80. Now this method we're going to use is called the unitary method, and you'll see why shortly. So we want to know how much would 7 kilograms cost. So I'm going to actually leave a gap here. I'm going to do 7 kilograms there. Now, it's called the unitary method because in this method we always find out the value of 1. I'm going to put 1 there. And so we are going to find out what 1 is, and then we'll be able to work out what 7 is. So we say, how do we turn 4 into 1? So we turn 4 into 1 by dividing it by 4. And then it's really important we just do the same on the other side of this table. So we divide that by 4 as well. So divide by 4 on the left, divide by 4 on the right. So we use our calculator here, $14.80 divide by 4, and we get $3.70. Oops. Okay, $3.70. Now, then we go, right, on the left, we've got 1 kilogram. We go, right, we've got to turn that 1 kilogram into 7 kilograms. So to do that, we times that by 7. We do the same on this side, times this by 7. So we go $3.70 times by 7, and we get $25.90. And then we make sure we write the answer underneath. So 7 kilograms of bananas costs $25.90. Alright, let's have a look at the next one for part 1 here. So again, we're going to have two things in the table. So this time we've got time and we've got distance. And I drop my table. Okay, so time, we've got 37 minutes. And the distance that Alfie ran was 7.4 kilometers. And it says if he runs at the same speed, how far would he go in 50 minutes? So again, I'm going to leave a gap. Go 50 minutes. So we should always kind of estimate. So 37 minutes, he did 7.4 kilometers. 50 minutes is obviously going to be a bit bigger than that. So a bit longer than 7.4 Ks. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what 1 minute is. So we say, what do we do to 37 to turn it to 1? We divide it by 37. Do the same over here, divide that by 37. So on your calculator, go 7.4 divide by 37, and I get 0.2. So 0.2 kilometers. Now we go, right on the left-hand side, I've got to turn 1 into 50. So times this by 50. Do the same on this side, times this by 50. So go 0.2 times 50, and you get nice answer of 10 kilometers. So we finish it off by saying Alfie could run 10 kilometers. All right, so I encourage you now to have a go at part 1. and do those questions, and then we'll look at part 2. Okay, so in part 2, we look at this concept of finding what we call the best buy. Okay, so the best buy is the best value for money. Okay, and we're going to use the same sort of method. So in this question, again, we've got weight of something, and we've got cost of something. And I'm going to do 2 sets of those tables, which you'll see why in a minute. So we've got weight and cost. So the first thing it says is 3.5 kilograms of apples is $16.10. And the other part of the question, we've got 6 kilograms is $24.90. So I've got to find out which one of these is best value for money. So we're going to change these 2 problems so that we can compare them directly. And the way we do that is make the weight of each of them be the same. So for this, I'm going to make them both be 1 kilogram. So we use the same method we just did in part 1. So we change 3.5 to 1. So to do that, I divide it by 3.5. Do the same over here. Divide this by 3.5. So on your calculator, you go $16.10, divide 3.5, and that is $4.60. Now, if you want, you can write this as a rate if you want. So this is something new as well. So we can say that the cost of these apples is $4.60 per kilogram, which means it costs $4.60 for 1 kilogram. All right, let's look on the other table here. So we're going to change the 6 kilograms into 1 kilogram. And we say, right, how do we do that? Well, turn 6 into 1, we divide it by 6. Do the same over here, divide this by 6. So $24.90 divided by 6, and that is $4.15. So these apples cost $4.15 per kilogram. Now we had to say which was the best buy. So the best buy is obviously the cheaper one. So that one is cheaper. So we say 6 kilograms was the best buy, okay, or something like that. All right. Okay, now in this question we found out the cost per kilogram. In this next question we're going to find out the cost per 100 grams. And if you walk around the shops you might see this on some of the labels. They tend to do this. So we have got here, we've got weight of rice. I guess you could just write rice there if you want. And the cost. Again, we'll do 2 of these. We've got weight and we got cost. Okay, so we had 900 grams of rice is $3.80. And the other question, 1.7 kilograms is $7. Okay, so we're going to, like I said, find the cost per 100 grams. I'm going to change that 900 grams into 100 grams. So we say, how do I do that? Well, I'll divide that by 9. Do the same to this. Divide this by 9. So $3.80 divided by 9. Now, it's not a very nice answer. You'll see on your calculator, it says this, 0.42222 forever, or 0.42 recurring. Now, we're not really interested in that. We're just going to round it, okay? We're just going to make it $0.42. So we've just rounded it to 2 decimal places, and we think that should be accurate enough. We just want to find out which one's the cheapest. Now, this next question, we see we got this thing here. We got 1.7 kilograms. So I'm actually going to change that into grams first. So 1.7 kilograms is 1,000 grams in a kilo, so that would be 1,700 grams. So I'm going to change that, 1,700 grams. Then we go, right, I'm going to turn that into 100 grams. And we do that by dividing by 17. That's going to turn that into 100 grams. Now I've got to do the same on the right here. We're going to divide that by 17. So go 7 divided by 17. Again, it's not a very nice number. You should get 0.41176, so on and so on. But we're just going to write it as $0.41. I'm rounding it. So you can see these two costs are so close, 42 cents and 41 cents. So it was the second one that was cheaper. So the best value for money was the 1.7 kilogram bag is the best buy. Okay, so have a go at those questions, guys, please, and then we'll have a look at part 3. Okay, on to part 3 here. We're just going to do one question here. It's not a big step forward to what we've done this. Okay, we'll get through it quite quick. So we got in this question, it talks about cakes and the amount of flour that you need to make those cakes. So Patrick had 6 cakes he made with 857 grams of flour. And we want to know how many grams of flour needed to make 11 cakes. So I'm going to leave that gap and I'm going to find out 1 cake. So I'm going to use this unitary method. So get my red pen. So turn 6 into 1. I'm going to divide that by 6 and do the same over here. Divide that by 6. Now this is why I've chosen to do this question. This is why it's a little bit different, which you'll see when you tap on your calculator. Here you do 857 divide by 6. Right? And it's this big, horrible, long thing. It's 142.83333 forever, so 3 recurring, right? So I'm going to write this in here, 142.83 recurring grams. And then we're going to go right, we're going to change 1 cake into 11 cakes. We're going to times by 11. I'm going to times by 11 here. Now, I'm going to bring up a calculator so you can see what I'm talking about here. So they had to do 857 grams was the first thing, and then we divided that by 6. And this was the long number we got, 142.833333, right? Now what you need to do is leave that number in your calculator there, and if you just press times, it will times that answer for you. It will display differently in yours, but I'll show you anyway. So we times by 11, and it will work it out for you. So 1571.16 recurring, okay? So 1571.16, right? So notice I'm trying not to do any rounding at all. I'm trying to keep my answer perfect. I'll get rid of that, I don't need that anymore. And only at the end do I then round my answer. So we say Patrick would need, and here I'm just going to round it to the nearest gram. I'm going to do this approximate equal sign. So approximately 1,571